morning, everybody. I just dropped something. Hi, and welcome to Unlost, Unearthed, a Heart the City Beneath actual play. We're just gonna do a round of introductions. I want everybody to tell me their names, pronouns, character names, character pronouns. I am Sharik. I'm going to be your game master. My pronouns are she, her. Sure. Alex, could you continue the train?
Sure. I'm Lex Wilson. My friends call me Alex, and so can you. I use he, him pronouns, as does my character Sand from Seas, who his friends call him Sand, and he is a forced heretic.
Oh, okay. Hi, I'm Zoop or Supriya. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm playing Ankita Acharya. She is a junk mage with the Calling Heart Song.
Wonderful. And Abhilasha, you're muted, by the way.
Hi everyone, I'm Abhilasha of Percival, pronouns he, she, they, and I will be playing Smita Roy, pronoun she, her, a, a knoll who is a forced dead walker.
Wonderful. A lot of those words mean nothing to some of the people listening, but eventually we'll figure it out. Now, as we start, we're going to start the game around a campfire in the middle of what looks like nowhere. It is a desert, except there's no sand. It's just concrete, with nothing to be seen from miles away. We're sitting around a campfire that is barely holding on. And around, we see 5 people. Or 5 humanoid, whatevers. Maybe these aren't people, who knows. At the top, though there's no top because it's a circle, we can see a cleaver. Somebody who looks like they've got these belts with tools and these horns and a whole bunch of animal parts attached to them. They seemed to have been human at some point, or perhaps not human. Maybe they're an elf. They look strange. They are an elf here. Their name is first and last, with dashes between the words. And they are your guide. You people around the campfire would know about this by now. Next to him, we can see Sand. Sand from Seas. Could you, Alex, tell me what you look like?
Sure. I was not prepared for that question. Yes.
Make it up right now.
Great. I do have certain features. I am also an Elfier, and I have been recently transplanted to the area of the heart. So I'm a little new. I don't maybe feel comfortable in my own clothes. I have glasses with red tinted smoked lenses, and I have. I just lost my character sheet. That's a great way to start the game. And I can't get it back.
I think all I want from you is your
Yeah.
appearance description at
Right.
this exact second.
Sure. Okay. I have metal teeth, and I am looking a little overwhelmed.
A little overwhelmed. I do wonder why you're feeling so overwhelmed as we sort of cut to a flashback of you coming home from whatever you were up to. You're sort of frustrated, maybe upset about something because I guess somebody just told you, possibly the clerics of the Moon Beneath temple that you live in, that you have to go on this journey now. Could you please tell me a bit more how this made you feel as you came home to your mother?
I feel completely unready for this. I'm a heretic in that I've converted to this new religion for my parents. I've moved to this new location for my family. And apparently, I'm not as enthusiastic as they want me to be. So I'm sort of being sent on this outward bound program to scare me towards the religion or maybe away from it. And so I'm feeling like I did everything right, didn't I? I was doing what my parents wanted me to do, and yet it wasn't enough. And now they're sending me away, possibly to face unknown dangers and some known dangers, because I've just witnessed some horrible, horrible things from people who have previously gone on this kind of journey.
So you come home, you drop your bag or whatever. You're very much acting a little like frustrated teenager, though I think you're equivalent of somewhere in your 20s. Elf years live way longer, so not technically have lived 20 years more than that, but sort of an equivalent of 20s, if I remember correctly.
Like
And
Alex, I look much younger than my age.
yes. And your mother is home. Um, just sort of, your family is because partly because you've recently moved from above the earth and you're currently now living in the heart, which is a place where normal doesn't exist at all. There's no concept of normal, that even if there was, nobody is following it. The abnormal is the normal. However, your family seems to be a strangely normal seeming one. You know, your mother uh talks to you like they would in a Hollywood whatever TV show about a high schooler. You go to church, you hang out there. You have recently moved here. So it's not everything is very new to you. There's a lot of culture shock. So anyway, you come home, you're frustrated, your mother is there, and she already knows. She seemingly is avoiding eye contact. It seems like she's aware of what you've been told. Um, and she doesn't particularly seem like she would be against it. So, you get home and she's like, Sand, uh, how's it going? You, had a good day, in church?
Uh, no, I feel like I just had my last day at church.
I'm sure you're exaggerating. What did Cleric Michelson tell you exactly?
From the way you worded that question, I think that's probably the same thing that they told you, which is that I'm being sent away. And
You're not being sent away. It's lots of young people go out there on trips and journeys to discover themselves and whatever. This is not a bad thing, you know?
I came here because of you. I gave up my friends, my whole life because of you. I came here. I gave up my religion. Not that I was ever that into it, but still, it's was society. We gave up our reputation. I got the brand of the moon beneath on my arm, but that's not enough. I need to go on this. I don't know. You seem to be treating it like a retreat. It seems to me more like a punishment camp or something.
First of all, we did not just give up a reputation. Your father and I are very happy with the reputation that we've built up for ourselves in this community. It is a lovely community that has accepted us, and I understand. I appreciate everything you've been doing, following the rules, doing everything as you're told, but you need to understand that when you make a comment or when you throw a look, people notice. It is not demolishing anything, but people have been started being uncomfortable around us, and it is hurting our day to day. To understand that? We don't even know what to answer people, and they keep asking, "Hey, what's Sans deal? Is he even committed to our beliefs?" Because you seem to be, and yet not at all. So I just need you to make up your mind, and maybe this trip will do it. Maybe once you see other people who are very much non-believers and see just how powerless they are. Maybe that can help you make up your mind, because I don't care if you leave it all behind. I just need you to figure yourself out.
Do you care if I die on this trip? And
I don't
would that save your reputation? Would that make everything better for you?
I can't
Everything
understand
easier?
that. I want you to die. You're my son. I want you to know what you want. And yes, maybe I don't want to throw away the life that we've built up for ourselves in the last however many pulses it's been. Doesn't mean that I want you to die. You're old enough to be going out there in the heart. What do you think was going to happen? You were going to live by yourself with us in this community your entire life without wanting to even? And I think that just sort of
Mhm.
snaps you out of it as we come back to the campfire, as you are playing the conversation out over and over again in your head. Um, and you remember, after that conversation, knowing that you can argue about it for as long as you want, but this is happening. Um, whether essentially whether you want it or not, but also partly, would you even protest it if this is what clearly everybody around you was pushing you to do, towards doing? Um, and then we pan a little to the side, and I think we see somebody who is similarly not too unfamiliar with the Temple of the Moon beneath, which is the church that you belong in and the community that you just left. Zoop, could you introduce your character one more time and tell me what you look like?
Yeah, so Ankita is a human and she has, darker skin, very reminiscent of my own, maybe a little bit darker. She has spiky purple hair. Um, she has these deep, dark eyes that you kind of like could feel yourself falling into. She's wearing this, it looks like a headband with antennas. And she's got a coat with just pockets, so many pockets, and just like stuff peeking out of all of them. She is a junk mage, and she is here to play.
Wonderful. I think similarly, as a flashback, you're going to think about all the moments in your life that has been building up to, well, not right now necessarily, because this is just you sitting around a campfire, but this journey that you've decided to go on, thinking about getting kicked out of school. Um, could you tell me a couple words about, unless you would like to keep it a secret for your character, could you tell me a couple words of
Oh,
whatever you want to say?
yeah. So, Ankita is a heart song. She is called by the heart to know more, to know the heart, to be the heart. And before she was on the spire, and
And the Spire, to be clear for the listeners, is just the city that is above ground compared to the heart, which is the city that is below ground, deep underneath, deeper in the earth.
she would buy, there are black markets that you can buy various pieces of some of the denizens, not like the humanoid denizens, but like the monsters that live beneath, or the weird fleshy plants that grow. All sorts of these different things get brought onto the black market, and she had been buying them up and trying to use them and her magic to communicate with the heart, and this was frowned upon. So once they kicked her out, there was nothing left for her on the spire. There was only the heart,
Mhm.
and she has been diving towards this this thing.
So you've been in the heart for some time now, but you haven't really gone any deeper despite it seeming like it's been what you wanted. And yet, one day, living in once again, the Temple of the Moon beneath this community, which seems to be one of those pockets of civilization in the heart where laws of physics and time and everything at all go to die. Um, you've been living here for some time and waiting, seemingly, is that right to say, for something?
Yes, the heart is going to tell me. I have to put all of my faith in the heart, and the heart is going to tell me when it is the right time, when I'm going to meet the right people to lead me
And you've been
down.
having dreams.
Yes, I in my dreams there's a couple different things that I see in my dreams, including there's a spider. It reminds me of Ishkra, the grantor of occult secrets, and it feels like she is giving me occult secrets as I'm trapped in her spider web and I'm being cocooned up. And this is how I'm going to get all the secrets. There is a witch, and I'm sure her name is She Sees Within, and I think that she's named that because she's going to see within me and give me the things that I need to do to become a part of the heart. And there is a symbol that I've been looking to see. I think it is in your parlance, humans of this world, you might call the white rabbit.
Hmm. Interesting. Now, could you tell me what your day to day was like up until you set off on the journey? And don't worry about the symbols. I will let you know about those in a
Yes.
second.
So my day-to-day journey, so once I got to the moon beneath the haven, I realized that the best way to find the right group to travel with was to position myself in a way to meet those people. And so I enrolled as a kind of not just a greeter at the church, but kind of like a receptionist who puts pilgrims together with delvers who will get them to where they need to go. And knowing that at the right time, I will know that this is the group to go with. These are the delvers or these are the pilgrims to go with. But in the meantime, just matching people up, a matchmaker of sorts.
Yes, a matchmaker between guides of the heart and people who for some reason want to go deeper. I don't know why. But the time did eventually come as you were once again getting people's information, figuring out who wants to go where, how far, how experienced the guides that are applying for the jobs seem to be, etc. And you're talking to this drow. The drow that this is a person you've been sort of familiar with. They've been at the temple for some time, and they're a bit more experienced. Sand would know this person sort of too. They've been around. It's not a huge haven. Um, and they have been assigned voluntarily very much. It's something they want to do, but they've been assigned a sort of mission to go down to tier 2, which, to be clear, the heart is 4 tiers: 1, 2, 3, 4, and tier 1 is the safest, as least the least heart you can go, and tier 4 is very much epicenter. But this person, whose name is Angelique, has been assigned to go to tier 2 to this haven or town, whatever it is called, Hollow, to talk to the witches of the heart, who they're very mysterious people. Um, they are suspicious and powerful, and they've got strange magic that comes from a disease that who knows where everybody gets from. Not everybody, where they got it from. But they're also, because of their power and they're because of how strange they are, they are sort of considered emissaries of the heart in a way. And because the moon beneath, the whole thing of the religion is that the moon, which is their heaven that they aspire to go to, they believe the moon is in the heart. And so they've sort of been trying to make a connection. Something new that they've been trying to do is communicate with the witches, exchange precious information or heart secrets. So this person, Angelique the Drow, has been sent on this mission, and you talk to them about this, and you hear about this. And what would your reaction be? Because
To the
a
haven,
witch,
to the hollows,
the Haven Cold Hollow, yeah.
to the hollow. This must be the sign that I'm looking for, because if that is where the witches are, that is where my witch will be. This must be the mission that I should join.
And that was coincidentally the mission that Sand was on, because, well, if they're going to tier 3, which is where Sand is going, they can drop somebody off on tier 2. Back to the campfire. And we pan to the right. As we keep panning, we see Angelique the Drow, very much dressed in just neat clothing. No stuff hanging out of pockets, no nothing. Hair is tight, neat, and the clothes are like leather and well, comfortable looking. Um, and we keep panning to the right, and we see Smita. Could you please tell me what you look like?
Um, Smita is a gnoll who gnolls are hyena-like creatures. They have the body and the head of a hyena. So Smita looks like a looks fairly typical for a hyena, except for the fact that she does also look like she's been through hell.
I do want to just very quickly. You can be body and head of a hyena if you like, absolutely. But gnolls are typically body of a human, head of a hyena, but also very
Oh,
furry all over. Because body and
oh.
head of a hyena would just be a hyena, but you can be just a hyena if you like.
No, no, you know what? You're right on that one. Okay, so I fully read that wrong in the book. I thought it was like an anthropomorphic hyena for some reason. Anyway, so it's Smita has the head of a hyena, a very like a fairly typical hyena you would find in any safari if you go, and the body of a muscled, scarred wrestler, wrestler who's kind of uh she's kind of leaning back and just kind of surveying, looking at all the people around the fireplace, her eyes lingering on Angelique. And uh
I'm so
she
sorry.
she
Give
ha-
me technical difficulty. Give me 7 seconds at most. I'm so sorry.
Trying to remember any of the Knoll puns that came to my mind while you were talking, and they all just like, I went out the window. I was like, nope, active listening. Nope, I'm not gonna.
Go. Back to the campfire. Back to the atmosphere that was building up that I completely ruined.
um yeah, so essentially she's kind of currently leaning back, um seemingly very casual, has a little bit of a smile as she's kind of bobbing along to a song in her head. She's dressed in like a leather jacket, this a very scruffy looking leather jacket, which has like one pocket here in which which seems to be bulging. She has one of those like bags, those bags that you sling over your neck, that is next to her, and a necklace of red gems, ruby like gems that seem to be more expensive than anything she has on right now. And she's kind of leaning back, and as you lean back you kind of see this notebook where there seems to be something half drawn on it at the moment, but she's not
Interesting.
drawing anything right now.
Interesting. As you're sitting around, you are sort of maybe perhaps fiddling with the necklace, and you sort of start to feel it heat up a little. Something that you're very much used to, I think. Unless you're wearing clothing underneath, people might be able to see. Are you wearing clothing underneath? Like to hide
She's
the neck, sort of a turtleneck situation?
no, she's it's she just does not care. Like,
Yeah. So
yeah, go
where
ahead,
the
guess whatever
necklace
you want.
wherever the necklace sits, it anybody looking can sort of see slight like burn marks around where the circular area, and you, Smita, also at that moment start to feel it sort of heat up, and that throws you momentarily into a flashback of now. How much do you want to say of your back? Just start from the point that you would like to already tell us. Don't tell anything you don't want to expose yet about your backstory, and then I'll pick it up from there.
I think when it burns up, she flashes back to a palatial bedroom in which she is doing push-ups on the floor while a statuesque android, vaguely woman shaped, is gazing at her and is kind of just looking at her silently as she continues doing her push-ups. And it's a lovely posh bedroom. The necklace is already around her and she's just kind of silently seems she's just she's just doing exercise. She finishes her push-ups and seems to reach for some clothes of some kind. They seem to be different than the one she has on. It kind of seems formal robe like, almost like a uniform that she has to wear. And
Mhm.
she goes to put them on.
Who is the android lady?
Huh. Well,
If you would like to say.
the android lady is,
And how android are we talking? Like, how
well,
robot is the appearance?
I wouldn't say like, I think hmm, I don't think she's like primitive robot kind of sense. She's a very advanced mecha. So she looks, so there's a certain it's a literal like some statuesque vibe to her. Like, you see her and she looks very human like, but
Mm-hmm.
in a way that you would imagine someone who's very good at making humans, something that you would look at the statue of David and you would go, oh, this is a very good imitation of a very good looking boy, at least in the statue of David's case, but a very good looking woman, tall, beautiful, like she's very well sculpted, but you know that she's not human.
Who is this?
This She goes by many names, but she encourages her special ones to call her the Mahakal.
Mm-hmm. Now, is that your first interaction? How you met Mahaka?
No.
I think from that, you're going to then remember a conversation you had, fairly recently, as you had already been in Heart, you've already been sent here by her on this mission that you can tell us what it is, if or not. We can get back to it. I think it's not as important at this moment, but you were informed, sent a signal by her that she would like to talk to you, and in this conversation, it's very much she seemed very distant and somewhat angry, perhaps. Not a way that you typically see her or have her talk to you. She sort of telepathically or psychically, not telepathically, appears in your mind anytime you do the necessary actions for it to happen. And you can see her sitting back on her throne like chair and looking away and just what's the update? Have you found anything yet?
I am currently sitting with Angelique, the drow whose
Oh, no, no,
name
no,
you
no.
were kind.
Sorry. No, 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 no. This isn't the flashback. I apologize for the
Oh,
confusion.
flashback. Okay, sorry.
This is a conversation you had before you set off on this trip. I apologize.
Okay.
Hmm.
What would you like me to say?
I would like you to say that you've been productive. Maybe for once, but you don't do anything. And maybe I thought I should actually do something about it. Because maybe you should know what consequences are like. Because I've been too good to you. You know, I notice when you play and fidget with your beautiful gift from me on your neck. I know that you think about taking it off, and I can't believe you would do that to me. It's quite upsetting, and I don't know how you would think after everything I've done to you, you would do that to me. I think you should probably get a taste of your own medicine. The pain that I felt last week when you looked in the mirror and you clearly thought about it. I thought about considering it at least. I wouldn't go so far. I'm sending you on a mission to uh tier 3, yeah. I'm sending you on a mission to tier 3. Had somebody else do it, have the hub was supposed to do it, but I've changed my mind. It's you now. As soon as
Don't
possible.
as as you wish. I I you know how I came here, and whatever I have done, I have, at the very least, you know that there are very little things I would not do to please you. And things I have done to please you are immense.
I would
Me,
hope so. Go on.
I just, I wish that after everything I have done, everything that in my history proves that I do, when I believe in a cause, when I believe in people, I do believe them. I wish that you would believe.
I
I
believe.
don't know what to say anymore.
I believe that you think that you don't need my protection. So if you don't need my protection, then maybe you'll be completely fine on this mission to tier. What did I say? 3, tier 3. Yeah.
But now,
So
I know the minute I step out here, I will have a very, very angry warlord after me. I'm not delusional about Do you think that my nightmares are not real? You know what they are. Like,
I think I
I
would
don't
like you
know.
to maybe check your tone.
Apologies.
Dear, I think this conversation is over. I think I've told you what you need to do. Just do that, and we'll talk later. Yeah. Bye bye. Ugh, God. Next. And then she comes out, and you. I need to go back to being American. Hello, cheeseburger. Okay. Um, we come back out of that flashback of a vision, of a psychic vision, as you're sitting around the campfire, and we come back to what we left off on, which was your necklace starting to sort of heat up and start to sort of burn your neck and just skin. And you know what that means, don't you?
Yeah, Smita. Smita is too big to not be noticed if she slips away or tries to go into a corner. So what she does is lies down and
Hmm.
just closes her eyes and pretends to be sleeping.
Is there a specific, well, I know there is, but could you tell me what sort of ritual? It doesn't have to be visual or noticeable, but something maybe you do in your mind that is your way of establishing contact with her.
Hmm. I think what she does is as she goes to sleep, imagines she essentially sketches out the she sketches out a statue. She sketches out the statue that watched is how she sees the Mahakal as
Mhm.
this imposing, intimidating statue that always looks at her, that is always there in her mind, that has been burnt in her mind as this figure who will always be able to slip into her mind and see her innermost dream. She's a statue, but somehow she is everywhere. So a she the way she looks in her she sketches her out. She sketches her out, and until the only thing she can think of is her,
Mhm.
so that she could bring her so she could fully see her clearly in her mind.
And she does. She appears once again sitting at her throne in a sort of stoic state, but giving face. And she hi, how's it going? Are you dead yet? I hope you're not. Just kidding. Or am I? Oops.
Still alive.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
I mean, you need me alive, of course,
Yeah.
unless the
Yeah.
spell book is not important.
That's not what we're talking about right now. Of course it's important. It is what everything relies upon. Or have you forgotten?
No, I wanted to ask and you to be assured that the best of your special ones have been sent on this incredibly important mission.
And this one is too. Well, anyway,
Right.
I understand that you are currently on your way.
Yeah, I'm on my way.
Who are you with anyway? Who are the victims on this mission?
Well, my other companions, there's a junk mage, uh, seems nice enough, and well, the best way I can say it is a fool who's been sent here apparently on some religious mission, going by his general his general demeanor seems overwhelmed and uh,
Right,
I
right,
don't
right.
know who's
Whatever. Who's
mm,
guiding you? Who's leading you? Is it you? I hope it's you. I hope you're taking lead on this. If I've taught you anything.
it's a drow by the name of Anjali.
No, it's not. It's first and last who's a Elfir
Oh,
cleaver.
Elfie. Okay. It's an
The
Elfie.
name is first and last. I know that sounds confusing, but the name of this
Name's
person
first.
is first and last.
Okay, first and last. It's an Elfir by the name of first and last. First last.
And that's so not you then.
Not yet, I believe, but that is deliberate. I believe first last may have
First and
some
last.
first and last. Jesus, I'm like, is it the name first last or is it
I
first
know
and
Elfir names are
last?
strange. I'm telling you what it is exactly as what I'm saying it is. First and
First
last.
and last. Okay. First and last, I believe, is has more information and a possible start to where I could look for the very important spell book.
Right, right, right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
You did send me here on very particular mission involving people. You know my skills.
yes, I sent you on this mission, which I know what it is. And well, you said something that was interesting, and I think you probably know subconsciously what you should do, which is you're not leading it yet. And honestly, do you need Mr. First and Last? I think you should really just sort of get rid of him, and then you can experience what it's like to lead a group of people. Then maybe you'll get to walk a mile in my shoes and know what it's like to deal with people like you who look in their mirrors and consider taking the necklace off, which I'm gonna get into that again.
The necklace is on, and you are here. And I know how to lead people. Clearly, because that's how I ended up meeting you.
Yes, and I think you should do that again now, and you should kill the cleaver.
Is that
I
an
mean,
order? Is that a
like,
plan? Is that a part of my recovery plan?
like I don't want other people to know you did it, so you can do whatever you want to just get rid of him. I don't know why you're having other people lead you, to be honest. That's embarrassing for you.
So I don't kill people, and then we go
But
back to
I'd
stage one
like
of my
you.
recovery plan, which was me not killing people.
I'd like you to kill him, but you don't have to. That's how much I am compromising.
I shall investigate further, and if needs be,
I want
I
him
shall
gone
kill
by
him.
tomorrow. He doesn't have to be dead, but I want him gone by tomorrow, and you should be leading this mission, okay? Bye. And she disappears out of your mind. Um, and you just sort of think
Hmm.
back to the last couple of nights that you've been delving on this journey with this cleaver, Elfir, first and last. And how you've first of all, he doesn't have a map. His map is in his mind. He has a map, but it's sort of weird and like half half written. Trying to change back accent. Um it's like very like sloppy. So mostly he knows what he's doing. Absolutely. Like you've avoided dangers and creatures very cleverly through him. So you think back on the last couple of nights of all of that and realize that it's gonna be tough without him, but might be even tougher if you don't do what you're told.
Can I'm sorry, this is a horror we're horror, but I have to do this joke. When when Ankita meets first and last, she's like, "Yes, name please."
First and last.
Yes. Please.
First and last.
Yes, please. First and last.
First and last. And we are out of that.
Meanwhile, Sand knows more Elfier than anyone else. Is just like, oh, hey, first, nice to meet you.
Okay. We're out of flashbacks. We're at the campfire, and until we cut to the next day, you are able to communicate or chat around the campfire if you like. The table, I hand over the microphone.
So First and I are bonding like nobody's business. We're like best friends.
Yeah.
Like brothers. I can't believe. I'd be ashamed if anything ever happened to them. You know.
Did you hear about the what's his name? And he left. He didn't come back until like 3 weeks later, and he had one of these like 2 more teeth than he did before. That was like crazy.
Yeah.
Where were the teeth?
Where were the teeth?
Yes.
I don't think I should say.
She
Anyway.
writes in her notebook. More teeth.
More
The horror stories that we hear on our way to tell our own horror story is a lot.
Yes. Are you saying that as Alex or as Sand?
Sand says that to
Right.
his buddy.
This isn't a horror story. This is a story of becoming.
I like her.
Smitha for the first time, like she's kind of been looking at wait, Alex, I forgot what your character's name is, sorry. Seth?
Sand from seas, but you can call him Sand. Yeah.
Sand. For the first time, like she's kind of been looking at Sand like, oh, this poor bugger. Oh, this child. And for the first time, that look has now transferred to Ankita. It's just like, really? And then she immediately like has that realization of certain of, oh my god, I'm surrounded by idiots. Help.
It is quite
she
a
just-
funny. Oh, go on.
and she
Go on.
just quietly, she starts drawing, and like as she's shading in the hair and everything, you see that she is drawing the people around the fire.
Oh, okay, interesting. I do love how interesting the dynamic of 2 newbies, complete like just children of to compared to everybody else in the heart, and well, Smita.
I'm so happy. This is going to be so funny.
The night falls. It gets dark. Everybody takes their watches and sleeps, and then as we get back up, there's no sun, so there's no light, so you just kind of have to sleep until you wake up. There's no, I say nightfall, but there's no sunset or sunrise because you are, to remind everybody, underneath the ground. There's no sun to be seen. Well, depends on where you go, I suppose. Heart could create a sun. Heart has a moon, so Heart could create a sun. Anyway, we're going to be doing now delve rolls. Now, I just need to take a couple quick seconds to do a mechanical explanation. When you're journeying in the heart, that is very much a mechanical thing in the game. That's called a delve, if you're going from one place to another. And that requires its own type of roll. And you do have a guide with you, but not everything that you do towards achieving the delve will be just the basic delve rolls. Sometimes it'll be other things. I won't go into too much detail just because that's boring and unnecessary. But yes, everybody wakes up, everybody gets their stuff. The tents, if you have tents.
Hey, Sand, wake up. you're sleeping too long.
Uh, does he say
Smita
thanks,
nudges
Mom?
him with her foot.
Does he
She
say
nudges
thanks,
him with her
Mom?
foot.
That's the question. No, I don't think he does. I don't think he does.
Smita nudges him with her foot. Hey, kid, you
Who's
gotta
huh?
go.
Who's
Oh,
what? Smita does what?
Smita nudges him with her foot.
Oh, right.
Like, hey, kid.
I'm up. I'm up. I'm up.
Like I know these aren't the comfy beds that you're used to, Sand, but
Oof, ouch. Oof. First
No, that's
Alas
accurate.
has been up. First Alas has been up. You're unsure whether he went to sleep, to be quite honest. Angelique is also up. You know she went to sleep, but she's very responsible and neat, tidy, and ready to get going. Everything she owns is already neatly packed into the backpack, and everything. It takes her like 5 minutes to do all this. She's very much type A, or whatever the phrase is for that.
I resent the implication that I'm pampered, but it seems like this group doesn't know about 10th breakfast. What I'm getting from the. All right.
Well, soon enough, you won't be able to have the food that your mommy packed for you, and you'll have to hunt very cursed creatures. So be prepared for your 10th breakfast to be somebody who had 12 horns.
Ankita gathers some of the soot from the fire into a vial and picks up some of the plants that are around, picks up a couple plants.
Wonderful. What? Why?
Everything is from the heart.
You don't need to go
Um,
to the black market if you are in the heart. Yeah.
Smita is going to go up to Angelique to give her back a token, some kind of small token, a pendant of sorts that she found. That belongs to Angelique. She stole it, and goes to give it to her back. Like, oh, I found this. Is this yours? I don't
Oh,
think it's the
oh,
others type. I imagine
sorry.
it'll be yours.
Oh no, not quite. No, this isn't mine. Well,
Oh,
I don't know. Sorry. Did you ask the other people?
hmm. Okay. Uh, you know what? I thought it actually might. You look best suited for this kind of jewelry. It seems
Oh,
very antique in a way.
oh.
That, but
Why?
I can ask others if this does actually belong to someone else or if this was something, just left by one of the previous parties.
I, seeing this, would like to roll. I would like to use the greed of the Red King to roll discern an occult to cast a spell kind of quietly. On a success, I determine what a target you can see wants most of all right now. And I want to know what Smitha wants most of all right now.
Okay, first roll, baby. All right. So that is you said discern and what roll?
Occult.
Occult. Um, so to explain to the listeners how this works is everybody has skills and domains. Domains are things they know about, skills are things they can do. You start with the base D10 that you roll, and for every skill and domain that you have associated that you have yourself that is associated with the role, you add another D10. There's some more stuff that comes into it, but we won't get into that. So do you have discern?
I have discern and I have occult.
That means that's 3d10 because you have both. You roll 3d10 and you pick the highest roll.
That is a 10 as my highest.
What? Okay, so
Yes.
10, as we all know, is the highest number on a d10, which means that you succeed and you do not take any stress whatsoever. Not only that, but it's very much a critical success. It's not, critical successes aren't too involved mechanically, but I can maybe give you still some. Smitha, What do you want the most in the world right now?
Right now, in this specific time, she wants to impress the drow.
Okay.
Hmm.
Do you
Interesting.
I think you the description of the spell doesn't say the detail which that you find out, right?
No, it says on a success, you determine what a target you can see wants most of all right now. But
Mhm.
also, in addition, you can smell money or anything of particular value.
Yes. Wonderful. I'll make sure to let you know. I think because you did roll a nat 10. No, not 10. Smitha, do you have any more? You don't have to, but can you give any more slight details to what you said, which was what was it again?
She really wants to impress Angelique.
Mm-hmm.
Why does she want to impress Angelique?
You don't have to say why,
You don't
but I
have to,
think
but
maybe if you could give the mind like the tone of like the, the vibe of the intentions behind impressing. What is
The vibe, like you get the vibe that she wants to impress his drow, but the vibe also carries the vibe is of someone who is not necessarily doing it out of like full passion as much as someone who is doing it out of I need to do this right now.
so
It's out
it's
of it.
calculated. It's
Yeah,
calculated.
the vibe is calculated.
Like, I am trying to get this person impressed, not because I want them to be impressed with me so I feel good about myself. I want them to be impressed because I want to use them being impressed with me for something.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Is that enough for
Yes.
Ankita?
Yeah, that is.
Okay.
But also, is there any money or anything of particular value? Is what Smitha is handing
I think
to Angelique.
Sand might have some money just because he might be the richest of us all, but maybe not. Do you
my
think you would
parents
have
gave a,
any?
my parents gave away a lot of money. So I mean, I have I saved some allowance money. So yes,
Right.
I'm still the wealthiest person here. Um, but it's not a lot. It's not like I can
I would
retire on
say
this
I would
on
say
anything
that
more than a boat. What's that?
I would say that you're very much smelling the necklace around Smith's neck just because it does feel
Mm,
very much either gold or something equivalent.
interesting.
It's rubies. It'll smell of like ruby and it smells of a gem, like a normal like valuable gem you would find, but also at the same time because I'm just for a little flavor, it'll smell a little bit like fire.
Nice.
I think it's the skin. I think that's burnt skin.
Yeah, something like yeah. There's a stink that feel it's very faint, but it feels gross in a way. Like it's not good.
Right. Okay. We're now on the road. We are delving away. Like I said at the beginning, you are sort of in a desolate area, so there's nothing to be seen from very far away, and the ground is concrete everywhere you see. Maybe every once in a while you see some of the like one tiny little plant, like you know how you weeds or whatever, but not like even that's dead. Maybe you'll see like a bit of sand or like a metal piece, maybe a cog or something. Mostly it is absolutely nothing at all. But then the more you walk, I think the ground starts like slowly turn like it's very cracked and um the concrete is no longer neat and smooth all over. The ground sort of cracked and broken, and it starts sort of going like there's like holes all around the more you walk. And at some point, you do come across, um, I suppose imagine like a tunnel, like not like imagine if you're driving and then you have to go down a tunnel, and it's sort of the equivalent of that, but it feels much more messily made, possibly made not by, not intentionally, possibly made just sort of from earthquakes or pulses. Pulses sort of being natural occurrences in the heart. They can be absolutely anything, but they sort of signify time, the passing of time. But they can be very, very intense and etc. Um, yeah, it's sort of a tunnel, and the cleaver, first and last, is automatically jumps into it because they are aware that that's how you're supposed to be going through. Um, they do mention every once in a while that they're going to this place nearby that they have on their map. The place they're going to currently, which isn't in tier 2, that's very much nearby. It's in tier 1, but they know that they can get a better and more up-to-date map, and that's sort of what they talk to you guys about. Maybe I should just talk instead of telling you. So, um, yeah, just well, I got this map, and it's kind of okay. I mean, you can't really rely on a map to be forever good, right? This place doesn't. Well, it changes. Um, so yeah, I tried using it the other day, the other month, I mean, or yeah, not sure. I was down in tier 2, and I went to where I saw where the map was, where to visit my friend, and um, well, there was a circus there instead, and I wasn't sure when that happened. And also there was like forest, and definitely didn't used to be foresty. So I realize now my map is definitely not useful here. But I know that for a fact where we can go to get a new one, right? And so that's where we're going. And then after that, it's a little bit of a detour, but I mean it's necessary, right? All right. Um and it's just sort of that. I honestly, first and last, could keep talking for hours. They're not really looking at the map as much. It's really all entirely in their head. Um, they are gonna roll. However, can somebody give me the roll, like a sort of help? Does anybody have either delve or desolate?
I have both. I have both Delve and Desolate.
Right, wonderful. So this is the only time I'm gonna do roll by an NPC. That's not usually something I do, but for this exact moment, since for now, Mr. First and Last is the one delving, I'm going to use your help, which gives me one extra d10, and I'm going to do the roll, the delve roll.
Nice.
Wonderful. So my highest was a 9, so we're completely fine. And isn't that great? And that's going to be the case forever because First and Last is great and it's very safe with them. Yay!
No problems as long as we have first and last with us.
Yes. Why let
Absolutely.
as you jump down, he sort of gets to puts together a couple of medals to sort of MacGyver a ladder together or something. Maybe he gets out rope, um, to help you guys come down so you guys can go into the tunnel. You go and you go deeper, and it does start to feel a little claustrophobic. Not too much. There's still plenty of there's still plenty of space, but compared to what it was only 5 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago, whatever, which was completely open space, very much surrounded by um pipes and metal around like the walls and the ground and the ceiling, and it feels like it keeps like going narrower and narrower. There's some passageways like right and left and whatnot. Um, Would anybody be saying anything or doing anything at this point in time?
Because I woke up kind of late, I did not do my morning devotions, so I am holding my candle sort of at my side and mumbling one of these prescripted prayers like that I'm supposed to do every morning.
Amazing.
Why are you
Um,
mumbling? At least say it out loud.
Do you want
Do you say that?
Yeah, 100%.
It's sorry. It's I gotta do this prayer thing. I just
I mean,
didn't want
can
to
you really mean it
disturb
if you're
anyone.
mumbling?
I mean it in my heart. It's cool. Thank you.
I'm, you know that the, I mean, I'm a Knoll, and my knowledge of Elfir religions are about as good as, well, you have to know your enemies, something like that. Um, are you sure that's the word? Because I'd heard it like, oh, bless me, rather than what you're saying right now. Or is that your version?
This is the Moon Beneath version. I know a lot of Elfirs practice a religion from up above, and we kind of gave up that religion, and that's why I'm here. Um, yeah. But thank you for that gentle
Huh.
note. And say the gentle
Huh.
correction since I've moved to heart has been very, very whatever the word for generous is, if that's the right word. So thank you for that. And now I have to start over because all of the interruptions. Thank you.
Boy!
Huh. Smitha looks like a little fascinated at this, like, oh, okay, so there's this new sect, a new religion in the Elfir, and okay, something interesting.
As
Yeah.
we
Right.
as you keep walking up, we can continue this conversation in a second, but I think as you keep walking, um first and last stops because there's sort of a fork in the road type of thing and says, "Well, you guys wait here. I'm just gonna check out where each of these leads us, and then I'll be right back in about 15, probably at most, and I'll let you
Can I
guys know
come
where
with
we."
you? Would you like me to come with you? I am.
Oh,
We don't know what these roads, whichever road, who knows what danger you might face.
oh, sure, sure. I mean, company's great. You know,
Sounds
I
like a
don't
good
want.
idea. Safety in numbers.
Yeah, definitely. We'll stay here
Yeah.
and make sure that nothing eats sand while he mumbles.
That would be fantastic, Ankita. I'm sure you're. Uh, what actually, when I come back, I do want to discuss your little gizmos and stuff. I think that would be
Hmm.
very helpful on our path forward, depending on.
Absolutely.
And as Person Last and Spita go off on to the left side of the fork, we are going to take our break.
Yes.
Thank you everybody for watching. We will be back in how long? I don't know, like 10 or something. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. 10.
We'll be back soon with more of this. Thank you everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Welcome back, everybody, to Heart, the city beneath, Unlost, Unearthed. I am your game master. To remind you folks, I'm Charlotte. And last we left off, we were traversing through this tunnel filled with metal and pipes and weird, whatever. And we got to a fork in the road, and your wonderful guide, wonderful, very experienced, very smart guide, first and last, which is the name, first and last, decided to go out and check out each of the pathways to make sure they know which one they're supposed to go in. And Smitha, who with absolutely no alternative motives, was like, I'll join you. Isn't that gonna be fun? Isn't that gonna be fun? So yeah. Sand, Gita, and Angelique, who is our NPC, stay behind. Sand, maybe you have now more time to actually try to finish your ritual and prayer and whatnot. And Smita and person last go off to the left. Smita, as you keep walking, again, it sort of keeps getting narrower and narrower to the point where you and first and last have to sort of have to be standing right next to each other. And you sort of see, like, it seems as though you're going off into a dead end, but Frozenlass doesn't seem to be stopping. I think he wants to make sure there's absolutely no other pathways. And you keep walking, and he holds out his arm, sort of like this, to stop you, because there's like you look down and there's a hole. There is a chasm, and you don't it's like dark. You do not see where it leads down to. Immediately he's like, "Whoa. Well, we don't want to go down there." But yeah, we should probably turn back. I mean, doesn't seem to be. Can I do you have a stone or something? You can just say that you have a stone or anything as worthless similar to a stone if you like. Oh, what am I saying? I got pockets full of stones. And first and last just sort of puts their hand in their pocket and just takes out a bunch of stones for some reason. The rocks that they have. And they just throw one rock down, and you wait and wait. You don't really end up hearing the rock drop down. So he's like, well, well, let's head back.
Okay. Smita, okay, now the fact that she didn't hear anything, now that has piqued her curiosity in a way. She wants, like, oh, just like this casual dismissal is like, do you mind if I maybe, like, do a little bit of analysis? Like, I used to be, I used to be really good at like soil and stuff, soil
Oh,
geology. I used to do geology when I was,
when
yeah,
you
when I
were
was living at home, I was a, yeah.
well, that's cool. Yeah, yeah. No, go
Um,
ahead. I mean, we shouldn't stay here for too long, just because the gang is sort of waiting for us, and we got a mission to be on. But yeah, sure. Go, do your thing. Sure. Why not?
okay. Uh,
What do you do?
so
Can you
she,
describe it?
okay. I kind of want to do a, hmm. So, because I have the explorer trait, I have, I have this, no, you know what? I am going to try and see, I'm going to try and use Enter the Gray.
Oh,
Yeah. I'm going to use
okay.
one of my core abilities as a dead walker. And I want to go into the gray to see if wherever the stone went, that can I like ask one of the spirits to like maybe check where that stone went and what's with that stone. Like, What's up with that? Is that important? And she's not. So she first and last is going to see full on, like, she's setting something up. It looks like she's almost setting up some kind of religious ritual, but the things that are coming out are like scientific instruments.
He's like
Like she
looking
had
like he's trying to like mind his own business, but he's sort of like throwing like a side of like, do you need help or
no, it's good. Just stay
okay,
right there.
all right.
And she kind of just continues, setting up, and she's taken off her leather jacket and has worn this like longer robe of sorts, and she spends like about 10 minutes setting up the ritual. uh and she, like, it all looks very scientific setup right up until she put everything is set up, and she lights a small little, like,
Candle?
mini brazier of sorts,
Mm.
and inhales the smoke. She inhales this smoke. The brazier has sage in it.
Hey,
uh
buddy, are we okay? I mean, is this, do we need to be doing this right now? I'm not sure what really is necessary.
she ignores him and continues, and kind of goes into, like, she inhales the smoke. you he sees her eyes roll back, and she seems to kind of freeze, like, on her haunches. She's sitting on her haunches and she freezes.
Okay, now I would like to really quickly describe what the Gray is and what you are currently doing and what a dead walker is, which is what you are. So, naturally, not everybody in the game needs to, or actually just knows this, but a dead walker mechanically in, when I say game, I mean story. But mechanically in the book, if you read, the dead walker means that you died. There was a point in your life where you died, but you actually didn't die, and you're still alive, but you kind of were supposed to die. Because of that, you're in this sort of between space, and you can take advantage of that by going into the gray, which is a bit of a limbo state. It's, in my head, I kind of like to imagine it as the upside down from Stranger Things, where everything is the same but different. And it's also where it's this in between space between life, the place of the living, and the dead. I do want to be clear that Smita can't. She can easily go from land of the living to the gray. However, it is a different sort of ritual to try to speak to spirits, and you can typically only sort of speak to spirits that have just died around these parts. So it's not really something you can do so easily to go into the gray and ask spirits for what this chasm is and what's going on here. But you can still go into the gray and see if you can find something out.
Hmm. Okay. So the ability also says that you are communing with your death and so on. So she's kind of frozen in the position in which she was initially killed, and she was at that point on her haunches. Like, the flashback that comes to her as she concentrates on getting into the gray is the last is the moment of somebody killing her, and that is when she was on her haunches, trying to trying to press down on the wound of a woman. She was
Mm-hmm.
frantically trying to keep her alive as she saw this drone, this proxy drone of the mecha warlord that rules her world, come down the with the blades, and that's the last thing she remembers. So that's kind of the position she's in, almost like she's holding someone and is like on her and is not standing up, but like is holding someone and pressing down, and that's the kind of position she's frozen in to first and last. As she inhales a smoke, and in like couple of minutes, her spirit, she starts to see the gray. And see the gray, she sees the spirits like wandering around this place in the gray, and she finds one particular spirit. She targets on one who is kind of hovering in the same area, and who seems to kind of looking and is looking very curiously at the two of them.
And the two of them?
Me and first and last.
Oh, do you take first and last with you to the gray?
No. So okay, so they can't see the living, only the person who's entered. So they can't see the living in that way.
Well, you are in a different place, and first and last is not here. It's
Okay.
for all intents and purposes at this moment. If I'm in a if I'm in a room and I go to a different room, I can't see the people that were in the first room.
Oh, all right. Okay. Okay, so she's just kind of looking at her, like in a very sort of curious, detached, curious way. And Smita goes, "Hey,
It's quite a deep, deep down hole, isn't it? You could really get lost in there." But then after she says that, her attention seems to be sort of elsewhere. She's not quite there. What does she look like? Who is this? To Smita.
she's a stranger. She doesn't really know this person, but in her sketchbook, in previous night, that you can see a flashback of it as she's flipping through her drawings, and one of the drawings is of this person, and it comes from accounts and photographs of a bunch of travelers who were on the same journey as she is, as Sand is, as Ankita is, who were also on this journey, and this person was a part of it. And as
Does
far
she
as she knows, it went wrong.
does she have any perhaps wounds that you can really see? Anywhere specific? Anything like that?
Um, I think what she sees, uh, I think this person has like, there are no visible wounds per se, but her lips are not like blue, like in the way of a dead body. They seem to be yellowish, almost as if she had, the last thing she had ingested was some kind of special poison.
I see. Well, like I said, she just sort of hovering. She's close by, but she feels distant, and you could try to approach her, but it doesn't really. It seems as though she just sort of keeps semper distant. She's at the same distance, regardless of how much you try to approach her. And she just said what she said, which was, you could really get lost in that deep, deep hole.
Did you get lost in there?
She doesn't really say anything else other than that.
Smita decides to move, and she moves fairly quickly because she knows she has limited time here. She moves fairly quickly and starts to try and find. She starts to try. Okay, wait. I have a question. If can Smita in this realm kind of rappel down to the to where that stone went to, or like in the vague direction of where that stone went?
Yes, but when you come out of the gray, you can jump down the hole in the gray. But once you come out of the gray, you will be now wherever the hole led to, and it's not going to be easy or possible, who knows, to come out of it.
Okay.
So
Okay.
wherever you are, that's where you'll be in the gray, and vice versa.
Okay. Hmm. Okay, I need to ask, without doing the ritual, he- uh, no, you know what? Never mind on that front. I think she's going to look for another spirit to speak to that's maybe around the same area.
So, like I said, it's not really something easy you can do. That at most, that was about all you could that was the only spirit you could speak to. Usually you can try to do a specific ritual to speak to people who just died, whose spirits are still on their way to the afterlife, but there isn't anybody else here.
Okay. Hmm. So I think she's going to kind of look around, see that this is the only person that she can speak to, and as she seems not to be responding, so
Mm-hmm.
she kind of like her shoulders slump and is like, "Ah, well, at least I freaked out first and last enough. Anyway," and she kind of starts to try and come out of the thing.
Okay. And what do you say slash do? Because when you come out, first and last is a little bit freaking out, like trying to sort of go like this in front of you and just trying to like shake you a little to something, just because they didn't realize what you were doing, and they're a bit freaked out. What do you say or do?
I'm good. You want to get your hands off me?
You're good. You're
I'm good.
what was that? What did you even do?
Geology.
And did you at least what? What for?
Meditative geology. I tend to usually meditate and then go into a sort of trance to try and analyze the place around me. We should go down there.
We should go down there?
Yes.
Why? Why?
I think that might be the place we're looking for, or we might find something interesting down there.
This
Okay.
yeah.
Um, can I ask something? Smita is going to kind of get up and like kind of start to seemingly pack up her stuff, but she keeps like when she keeps packing up, she keeps moving and sliding behind first and last.
Okay.
So I have a question. How long has this all been going on? Because
15
we've
minutes.
been. Oh, okay.
15
It's only
minutes.
been 15. Okay.
Well, I'm closer to 20 now.
Okay.
Um Smita, okay, go on. What why? What is this?
She's going to try and push first and last into the chasm.
I thought that was going to happen immediately. We did a whole nother rigmarole before we got there.
It's look, murder is not the first option.
You don't know if
It
this is
is the
murder.
second
He
option.
could. What if it's like a really good place down there and then he lives a happy life? You don't know that.
Okay, assault. Assault is not the first option, but it can be the second.
Wait, what were you going to do in the first option? Were you going to get some other soul to inhabit his body?
That would have been a good idea, to be honest. That would have been very funny. I should have maybe done that, but I legitimately was like, can I get someone like who maybe has been down there and died and could tell me something?
Okay. Could you please? So you're like trying to shuffle as you say that like that's probably where we're trying to head to. Just to be nice and polite, first and last sort of like looks down, tries to like turn like hold their lamp a little to try to look. They throw another rock down, just to entertain you a little. This idea, but then it's just like, buddy, this isn't really. You can't. There's nothing down there, and maybe you should just leave the guiding and the delving and whatnot to me. I think maybe. And could you
I would,
please?
I,
So you
I would honestly. You know, you're right. Maybe I should, if I had my way.
can't do push them?
Yes.
Could you please roll me? Ooh. This is. Let's do kill Warren. Do you have kill or Warren or Warren?
Hill or Warren. Okay, let me check.
Warren is a domain, while you checked, Warren is a domain that has to do with sort of tight spaces like this, generally. I think I'll just simply put that
If you
there.
don't have kill, then it's probably not murder because it would have been premeditated since you would have taken kill as a skill. That's just my legal opinion.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's only
So,
manslaughter.
okay,
And you don't go jail for that. That's actually, that's true.
one of my core traits is that one of my equipment is in all of my equipment there is a kill d6, and I have bootleg ambrosia and ritual blade, and in that I have a kill d6.
So, this isn't as much trying to, like, if we imagine that he has a certain number of, like, his resistance, so, like, the number that is basically his hit points, but it's called resistance. This isn't so much trying to get that number down as much as succeeding in pushing him in, because you push him in, he's done. He's gone. He might be dead or not, but he's certainly gone. So we don't necessarily need your equipment. We just need you to succeed on this roll. You could
uh
try to absolutely argue for a different skill or domain. If you can try to argue with me about it, I can choose to give you to make the roll a different scale or domain. That
okay,
might
I
also
have
work.
curse, desolate, and technology. I don't know, I don't think any of them will actually work
What was
in
the
this.
first one you said?
Cursed, desolate, and technology.
What were your skills that you had?
My skills are endure and delve.
Delve. Hmm. I think perhaps if you fail on the kill Warren roll, you could still keep doing something, and at that point the endure might come in handy. But for now, before we get to that far worse situation, could you give me a kill Warren roll?
Okay. D10, right? 1d10.
1d10.
Middle of the road, I got a 5.
Hmm.
That is a failure, and with stress. I'm just real quick.
No, wait. Okay. But also, I do happen to have, like, in Knoll, there is a inherent trait that I can pass. Once per session, allocate stress to the nearest friendly target, PC or NPC, instead of marking it yourself.
Yes, but is he friendly? Well, he's friendly to you, so I suppose you could. For now, fine. So I'll roll the stress, and then we will allocate the stress to him, and see what happens there. Um, I think I'm going to give you D6 stress in this, and we're going to make that a fortune stress. Fortune because you're really pushing your luck here, and that's why we're doing fortune stress. So we got 4 fortune stress. So please add 4 fortune stress. Another mechanics rule that we're going to let y'all know about. Every single time a character takes stress, I'm going to roll to see if they get a fallout. Stress mechanically doesn't give you anything, but it makes you, the more you have it, the more likely you are to get a fallout, which are bad. They're actually mechanical consequences, bad things that happen to you. So, a fortune fallout. I'm going to roll a d12. If I get less than 4, If I get less than 4, you get 4 or less, that is, you get a fallout. That's a 3.
Fun.
Wonderful. We will let you know what said Fortune minor fallout. This is going to be a minor fallout. Once it is time, I will actually let y'all know what a major fallout would be. But you know what? Let me see.
Yeah, but I also can, like, okay, I have taken 4 stress, but can I allocate this to first and last?
Can you what?
Can I give this to first and last?
You cannot give fallouts. You can give stress. Listen, if you
No, I
allocate,
meant stress. I didn't mean the fallout. I will take fallout. I'm asking about the
does
4
it
stress I've taken.
does it say how much stress you can allocate? Relocate, whatever.
Let me see what it comes under as null. Da, 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 da. Annotant, where am I?
Is it collateral? Because I took that. I don't remember if it was through my race or class.
Sorry, what are you checking?
I'm checking for where I got the thing.
Okay, cool. Um,
Okay, for some reason it's not under the null page. Why is it not under the null page?
Knolls don't get any mechanical benefits. It must be calling. Okay, listen. Um, regardless of, we will figure.
Collateral. Okay.
Oh, it is
It just
collateral. Okay.
says, yeah, it is collateral. You have a knack for getting behind someone else when things kick off. Once per session, allocate stress to the nearest friendly target instead of marking it yourself.
Okay, you got out of this alive. So, because you're allocating all of your stress to first and last, that means you're not taking any stress. That means I don't have to roll for fallout. That means you're not taking this fallout. But you still haven't done what you wanted to do. So, what exactly happened here? I can describe it, but you were just on your end. You all it was you just pushing, or is there more? Was there more to it? Trying to push them.
I think that as he was looking and just talking, she kind of, you know, collects her things and in a very sort of resigned way, like, she doesn't really want to lead. She knows what the consequences of her leadership have led to. But she knows her duty. Sh it's almost like this sort of sudden weakness comes into her hands, her very powerful, furry, muscled hands, and she's going to, like, she's like, okay, I'm gonna push. And but as she goes, it's almost like something in her is stopping her. Conscious, you call it a conscience, you call it her rebelliousness of like, I don't want to do this. I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to do this. This is pointless. But
Mm-hmm.
it's almost like that reluctance, bone deep reluctance, doesn't the force she puts is halved.
Mm-hmm.
So just so the way it feels is almost like when she pushes, it doesn't feel like someone's pushing you, because what she does is she almost like
It's
pretend
almost like you were just
trips.
kind of clumsy and you like all like
Yeah.
right. I think as you're like walking again behind first and last and you try to push him, but it all sort of more turns into you like accidentally bumping into him as you're walking past. He's sort of like, oh, yeah. And he does like he did take stress, which means I do have to roll for his fallout. That's a 4, which means he does take a fallout. NPCs taking fallout is slightly different. It's not something specific. A minor fallout will simply be a issue. Now, an
Can
issue in this
first
case.
give the damager to
No.
Smitha back? No? Okay.
No. But I think as sort of you bump into him, he just goes and like as he's like almost about to fall, but he like throws his body weight back and falls back. Except his legs were like he because of the way he was standing, he like falls back, and I think he sort of weirdly enough, strangely enough, does something extremely normal, which is twists his ankle. Here now, but he did. He falls down. He's like on his ass, sitting down. He's like, "What was that, dude? You gotta be more careful. I mean, oh, I can't. I don't even. I
I'm
don't.
so my apologies. I think the smoke is still all up in my head. I'm so sorry. I don't really tend to do this ritual a lot. I just thought it might be, helpful because I mean, this place is strange. I would imagine that chasm could be something interesting. I don't know. I'm so sorry. You know what? Liga, I am going to go back to the party. You stay here, or do you want me to pick you up and then you could just give me the map and I think you are going to need a little rest, my guy.
Give me a compel. Compel. What is the domain for this?
Probably Haven because it's society.
Society. Yeah, let's go with compel Haven, but it is a risky roll, which means that it is like one level high, more difficult. Because what you're saying is a little bit ridiculous, but I'll let you roll for it because you're gonna stress. You're the one getting stressed for it anyway. So what risky means is that how many do you have? Do you have compel and or haven?
No, nope, none of it.
So
But you know what I do have right now?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I have a 9.
You rolled a 9?
Yep.
But if it's risky, doesn't that mean
Yeah, yeah.
it-
So the thing with that is that would have been great if this was a standard roll. But with considering you started with 1d10 and risky says, for example, if you were rolling 2d10 and normally you would pick your highest, because your roll is risky, you pick your second highest. But because you started out with only 1d10, the only way to have succeeded on this roll would have been to get a 10. And
Oh
even then,
boy.
you would have gotten stress. So as you say, like, "Ah, maybe you should just give me the map, and then I'll go back, and then you can just like, take a breather." And it's like, what are you, Sven? Are you out of your mind? Wait, I'm not just stay here. You help me
Dude, your
up, and
ankle,
then all
dude,
this
your
is
ankle
gonna
is
do is
twisted.
yeah, because of that, we're gonna be slower. But I'm not just gonna. First of all, I got paid for this. Second of all, I'm not gonna just quit because my fucking ankle is twisted. All right, this isn't my first
Okay.
day. I got a lot of
Okay, but
twisted ankles.
yeah, but my guy, we didn't exactly get like a cart or something with us. Do you want me to carry you or do you want me to carry the map? Do you want me to carry you and then you tell us like is
How
that what I'm gonna have to do now?
how heavy do you think the map is that you can only carry me or the map?
The map isn't heavy. What I'm confused is I don't want to have look man, it is going to be a hard like walk and stuff. We're going through a forest and shit, and then I have to also carry you. Whatever wild animal comes. And you are the only one with a map and you're the one who gets eaten.
Maybe you should have thought about that until you bumped into me. Now
That
let me.
wasn't my fault. I was fully look man, you literally saw me inhale like a whole bunch of smoke. Do you want to smell do you want to know what that smell would do to you? I have it. I could burn it and then you find out what it smells like and what it does to you, my guy.
He starts getting up, like he's like angry and annoyed, and he starts getting up, and he's very much like gonna be limping, and he's like, "Are you coming or not?" And Sminta, I want you to know that you either do something here now, or you guys are going back, and you're gonna have to travel with him with a twisted ankle, so you're far slower.
While
Smita
Smitha
is.
is thinking about it, Sand and Ankita and Angelique are of the, this is, I mean, I know time works weird here, but this is taking a while.
Let's cut back. Interestingly, thank you for reminding me. Let's cut back to what's happening with Sand, Angelique, and Angita.
Well, I think Angelique and Ankita just stare at Sand while he finishes his prayers.
Mm-hmm.
You good?
Well, how long does the prayer take, Sand?
Well, I have to keep starting over. So much longer than it usually does.
But once it is how long does it usually take?
Like 2 minutes.
Oh, okay.
It's like the Lord's Prayer.
Right. Okay. Well, it's been like 20 minutes now. So, yeah.
Do you he didn't tell us how long to wait before we should worry. In the future, we should definitely find that out. Do we assume that they've been eaten by the heart and just go right? Or do we go check on them?
If they got eaten, then I think we stop here, right? I think
Oh
we're.
no, I mean, then we know that that way was the wrong way and we can just go right.
It's just trying to get out of there.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I can see the logic behind that too. All right. I guess we're not very far. We're not in the dangerous area, so I guess we could go a little further.
Angelique,
Um,
what do you think?
Angelique gets up and starts she had taken some sort of rations out, to just sort of, snacks, and she starts packing those away and says, "Let's go right. They're dead now." And starts sort of walking to the right and takes out what seems to be a compass of her own. So a natural leader seems to be forming here, and I don't know if one of you guys wants to take over here or not, but
Oh no, I believe in Angelique.
all
please
right.
no, please don't have another NPC be the leader.
Oh, okay.
No, just do what needs to be done. Don't worry about it.
Um, well, okay. We know that the left is bad. So we need to go right, and that should lead us to the town. Maybe your compass can lead us to the town, and then maybe we can get a map there, and whoever actually manages to get the map can then lead us further.
Sure, yeah. I think at this point I just kind of want to get at. Wait, that's not what Angelique sounds like. Um, yeah. At this point I just want to get out of these tunnels for now. We'll figure it out once we're out of here, because honestly, I expect it to be mostly a straight road from here on.
Okay, perfect.
I
And
want to leave a note,
okay, sure.
just in case they didn't die. I guess
Okay.
to say that we went on ahead. So
Wonderful. Yeah.
thank you.
As you guys start walking there, this is probably about, like 20 minutes in. So let's cut back to Smita and First and Last, who are having this argument, and First and Last has gotten up to start heading back. What's happening?
Smita is going to sigh, going to take out her ritual blade, and is going to try and essentially, yeah, she's going to. Okay, so one of my abilities is Invidious Spectre, and in
Mm-hmm.
Invidious Spectre is my major ability. And in that there is a minor called Ghoulish Grasp. Once per
Mm-hmm.
situation, a weapon you are carrying has a debilitating tag.
Okay.
Can
Could
I
you
use
remind me
that?
what that did? Or would you like me to remind you what that did?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you say that again one more time?
The ghoulish grasp, once per situation, a weapon you are carrying has the debilitating tag.
Okay, so the debilitating tag says that once per situation, when you inflict stress with this item to one or more targets, the next attack made against them is rolled with mastery. Mastery means you get 1 extra d10. Yeah, I mean, if it says that, then you can absolutely. So are you trying to attack them with a knife, is what you're saying?
Yep.
Okay, could you describe what is happening right now? Like, he's getting up, he's about to go. What do you really do here?
As he's getting up, um, she takes out, she kind of slips her knife from her sleeve into her arm and stabs him right in the position, right in his swollen ankle.
Okay, can you roll kill and Warren here?
Yep. Okay, so because I'm rolling with the with that with the mastery thing, so can I add one more d10 in this situation, or am I just add again? It's one d10.
Let me read that again. Equipment tax, debilitating. Once per situation, when you inflict stress with this item to one or more targets. I think for now you don't get a mastery. I think for the next one, because this isn't gonna be one and done. This is very
Yeah,
much you
obviously.
trying to get his number down and kill
Yeah,
him. So
yeah.
I need you to roll kill Warren for now, straight roll. It's not
Uh,
risky because he's
9.
limping. 9 is good. 9 is great. 9 is a success without stress. So could you tell me what is it a D6 your risky knife? Sorry, your knife?
Yeah.
Cool.
I have
So,
a kill d6 on it, so
to let the audience know, by the way, Zoop, we can hear your keyboard, so if you want to mute yourself.
Sorry. Ooh,
That's fine.
absolutely.
That's fine. That is fine. Um, yeah, so, every equipment and resource has a number associated with it. So if you have an equipment that is a D6, that means when you use it, you roll a D6. If it's a D8, you use a D8, etc. The higher, the better. Perfect. D6 is sort of second highest. It is decent. Please roll me a D6.
okay, let's see.
And while the first and last did take 4 stress at first, um I do apologize. I think I should have given you mastery just because he has a twisted ankle because of the fallout he took. So it's a bit easier to, it's harder for him to get out of the way. So, regardless, he would have succeeded. If you would like to roll another one and see if you crit, because that would make it one higher. But let's see.
Nah,
Okay, cool, cool, cool,
this was
cool.
the highest.
Yes. Point is, they are currently at max HP, but they have a fallout. So I'm going to say that the rolls you do against them are already at mastery. So,
Yeah,
what did you get on the D6?
I got a 5.
5. Perfect. As he's like trying to get up, and his attention's already sort of, uh, he's not paying too much attention to you because he's got he's got a hurt ankle, and he's trying to get up. He's trying to get his stuff. You immediately take that moment, take your chance. Where do you stab him?
I stab him. What I need, look, I in that moment as he's standing up, she's realized he has a swollen ankle. He's going to slow us down, and I still need to find out what's at the bottom of that chasm.
Mhm.
So she first is going to pin him in that. She's first going to stab him through the ankle and then is going to push him into the chasm. Two birds with one stone. One knife in this case.
Okay. Um, you push him in. Well, the pushing is gonna need to be a different roll because stabbing and pushing is different. However, you have mastery on this, and I mean, there's like three. Honestly, quite honestly, there's like three different sources that you're getting mastery on this from. But the game says they can only get mastery, like you can't stack those. So I'm assuming this is still a kill Warren. So please roll me a 2d10, and let's hope you succeed.
I did. I got an 8.
That is wonderful. Once again, without stress, you're really avoiding taking that stress and fallouts. You stab him immediately. He's like completely caught off guard. He doesn't know what's happening. I mean, he knew you guys were having an argument. He didn't expect you to stab you. And as he's like trying to dodge your knife and fails, you take your second. How do you push him in? Push him down.
As she stabs him there, she kind of gives him this like rueful smile. Things you do for love, eh? And kind of just she kicks him really hard, like using all that muscle into the castle.
He falls down. As he's falling down, he just like with the echo especially emphasized. He's like, whoa, 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 whoa. And can I have? You can choose to. You can choose not to do it because a failure can give you guys stress, or even success can give you guys stress. But either Sand or Ankita, would you like to roll a discern to see if you hear
Yeah.
this? Great.
100%.
You don't have to, but
100%.
You said or both of
both
us.
of you can choose to do. This is not something your character actively does. I'm saying you as a player can choose to have your character notice. Well, unless you fail the roll, but hear this this yell.
Okay, so discern, and then what is our domain?
Let me see.
Cursed.
No. Cursed is this is not in any shape or form cursed enough to be cursed. This is just a bit of a listening. This is Haven.
Okay. Oh, this is Haven. Okay.
Yeah, it's just Haven. It's not really anything to it.
I have discern, so I'm gonna roll 2.
Okay.
All right, that is an 8 for me.
A 6 for me.
Okay, so both successes, however, Sand will get stress. We'll come back to it in a second.
He's already pretty stressed, so that's all. This is just sort of keep bringing him up to
Wonderful.
mechanically
amazing.
where he really is in
Yeah.
reality.
Yes. Both of you immediately the echo. Well, since both of you heard it, I'm just gonna say Angelique heard it too because it was like again these are like narrow tunnels and the sound spreads. There isn't too many directions and the sound and you guys had just got up to start going, so you're still pretty close to where it happened from. So you just hear immediately like like pretty clearly. Assuming it stops you in your tracks. Does it?
Well, I think yeah, they're dead. And we start running.
Sure, Angelique will follow your suit. Sand, what do you do?
I think I run back towards the.
You run back. They're dead.
Sand.
Sand, come on, you're not gonna survive. Let's go.
Sand, could you please take 3 mind stress? Fortunate for you, I did roll an 8, so you do not take a fallout. However, 3 mind stress. Track that on your sheet.
Okay.
So you're running back towards them.
Yeah.
And Angelique and Ankita, do you continue running away or do you follow Sand or what do you do?
Shit, this is such a problem because I received a sign that these are the people that I need
These
in
are the
order
people
to.
I'm supposed to follow?
These are the people that I'm supposed to follow.
Well, Angelique is the person you're supposed to follow.
Who did I see the sign?
Angelique.
Oh,
She's
but
the
she's
person that is
following
going
me.
to follow. Hey.
It makes more sense if you're trying to follow Angelica. I don't think Sand is the next Paul Atreides or anything.
Blind
Okay,
leading the blind, leading the blind, leading the blind.
we're running. We're running. We'll meet you over in home.
Cool. You're running out of the tunnel. Sand, you run back. Smita, you push him in immediately. What's happening? What's happening?
Smita kind of essentially she's waiting to hear if she hears a thump or she hears anything. Does she hear him continue to scream, or does she hear him go oh, and or hears him say something, speak to anyone if there's someone down there? She is waiting for a response, and she is on her knees and she's looking down, like kind of like she's not on the edge, she's a little away from the edge, but she's big enough to like still be able to like look down a little bit to see a little further, like I think 20-30 feet down.
The yell continues until it gradually disappears. You do not hear a thump. You do not hear a, oh, this is fine, actually. You just sort of, he continues screaming until gradually you no longer hear him.
Smita kind of, she takes out her notebook and she kind of scribbles down, okay, interesting chasm. Like she's essentially scribbling down her analysis of what she heard and everything.
Mhm.
And she kind of, her shoulders slump and she looks remorseful in
Sand
a
runs in
way.
at this moment. Sand, you
Yeah.
run in at this exact moment.
Cool. I push Smitha in. I'm kidding.
Oh my
Uh,
god!
Um,
So
Yes, no, I really want that.
Roll.
I
No,
really
he,
want that.
he has no reason
oh yeah,
to. He has, no,
Warren.
he has no reason to yet. Yeah, he sees this. You're looking remorseful, you say, and you're writing something down in your notebook. Like, where's first?
Smitha kind of looks back and looks and kind of just, there's something down there, and I tried to stop. I should have been, been better at trying to stop him, like, damn it. He really, he wanted to see what was down there, and he was rappelling down, and I was supposed to hold on, but it, and it snapped, and can't hear him anymore. I should have tried to stop him.
Would you roll a compel Haven for me? You
Yes.
can argue for Warren, but I don't think that you don't have that. So why would you?
Yeah.
Typically, the reason as you roll, I'm just gonna say, typically the way I choose the domain is either where you are, just generally like the whatever the domain of the location you're in, or I guess the sort of vibe of what you're trying to do. So this is just basic lying. To me, this is just Haven, most of all.
I got a
But again,
6.
you got a 6. That is a success with stress.
Oh,
So
thank God. No
I'm just gonna
problem
roll.
on that one.
Well, you're still in the same situation, mostly. So you can't reallocate the stress again. You please take 3. Yeah, let's do mind stress again. Not everything is gonna be mind stress, but I think this one's sort of gonna stay on your consciousness. Conscious?
Conscience.
Whatever. Conscience. Thank you.
Conscience, that's the word.
Conscience. Yes. This one's gonna bother you a little. Maybe your little ghost friend is gonna whisper and be like, "You fucked up." Maybe. Let me roll for Fallout. So we need a 4 or higher, so you do not get a Fallout. We got a 7. You're good.
Why is murder the only successful thing I have done this entire freaking session?
Make sure to note down that you have 3 mind stress. Now we just need to make sure Ankita gets 3 mind stress as well at some point. And it'll make the group.
So I peer over the edge. I can see in total darkness, but it doesn't mean that I have like infinite vision or anything. So I probably,
Yeah. It's
probably-
really goes. You have no idea where this leads to, and
Can
you
you
do
see
believe.
anything?
Okay, as far as I can see, like even if they just fell that distance, they probably wouldn't have survived. That's probably what I discerned from that.
No.
And I'm like shaken, and um I say like he had our supplies, he had the map. What
Uh,
what do we do now?
Smita kind of looks behind and is like, she'd already taken the supplies and map off of him before she stabbed him.
At what point did you do that?
Oh yeah, no, I don't think
Can
you
I
did
retcon
that.
Can
I-
I retcon that?
I
Is it
don't
possible to
think-
retcon that?
I don't think you
Can
did
I
that.
at least retcon the map? Can I retcon the map at least? Did not supplies.
No.
Come on, please. Please.
No.
At
What
that
can
point,
I?
okay, is this a thing where you just genuinely forgot to mention it, but everything you did was calculated so that you would be able to take the map?
Yeah.
Can tell me when that was supposed to have happened.
Okay. When she stabbed him, she like obviously he would be screaming in pain and would be going to his ankle and let go of the map. So she took the map and then pushed him in. I actually did forget to mention the map thing that I should have mentioned.
Yes, but that is a whole other role. Trying to get something off of him before you push him, that's like stab, take, push. That's 3 different
Yeah,
roles,
but he
babe.
would have let that go because I just stabbed him in the ankle.
I'll allow you to roll post. What's the word for like you did it after the fact? Whatever.
Yeah.
Is posthumously a correct word? I don't remember
No,
what
that's
it means.
after someone's
Posthumously is
dead.
after death. That's
Well,
after death. I stabbed him in the ankle. He was just grievously injured at that point, not
Yeah,
dead. I
but
killed him
he's
after.
dead now.
He's dead now.
Well, it's
Kill him after.
pre is before, post is after. So is it Perry? Is it
Perry, yes.
Perihumously? Perihumously.
Ooh. Whatever. So I'm gonna allow you to roll for Hunt Warren because this is like really tight and you're trying to get something off him. Or maybe no, it's not sneak because you're not trying to be sneaky about it. Yeah, let's do Hunt Warren so you can try to get the but and then afterwards you push him. Alright, go on. I'll allow you this time.
I got a
And then
6.
I have a request after this.
Okay, listen. My generosity has got in somewhere, but yeah, I'll hear you out. What did you get?
I got a 6.
Wow. Let's make that a blood stress, shall we? Because I think that he would probably be able to get a little punch in as you're trying to get the maybe a kick. Your hand is right next to his leg. He gets to kick you in the face.
Map
And you
tears.
get-
We have like the one half.
You get
No.
2 blood stress.
I think
And
this is going to be so funny.
you do not take a fallout. But please note down that you got 2 blood stress.
I
Okay.
have got full chaos. I have decided to do full chaos. Just
So, are you 1 second, Ankita.
Yeah.
Do you hide the map before Sand gets here? In like or like do you try are you going to try to pretend that you don't have the map? What's the deal?
I think I think what's going to happen is I am going to hastily maybe throw the map a little, not like too far, but just enough that it looks like he put the map somewhere aside and was trying to like investigate the chasm.
Okay, but that's going to happen after he gets here, but cuz I don't think you would expect him to immediately run in. So, you're doing a lot of rolls here, but this
And
hey, can I get
I
his
make
sneak,
decisions.
Warren? Can I get a
make decisions.
Alex, you can try
I need I need to start.
because Smith is the one doing stuff. I'm more inclined to make her under the risk of getting stress. But I think if you would like as a player to roll a discern against sort of contested. I don't think this is mechanical, honestly. I don't think this is in the books. I'm making this up right now, but if you'd like to roll a contested discern roll against Smithers, you would still be in risk of getting stress, to be clear. So you don't gotta. And
I-
you would still, like, it's not guaranteed that Smithers would succeed. So go on. What do you think?
I think that they're trying to figure out what happened. Like it doesn't make sense that this person would just sort of fall. I don't think they would suspect Smithy, but I think that they Smitha, sorry. But I do think that they might be like listening to the story and saying like, okay, but where is the snapped end of the rope? Like what? And the map is here. Okay. So
Well,
yeah. So let me roll. Sorry.
okay, Smita, can you roll me a sneak Warren? And Alex, can you roll me a discern Warren?
Do I have Warren? I
Okay,
don't
this
think I do.
seems this is ridiculous. I feel like this is the universe and the dice being funny with me.
We love
I
fun.
got both dice has got a 6. One I roll for this one, the one I roll for sneak, and the previous roll I got both 6s.
Let's see what the
I got a
yeah.
5 and a 9.
Oh boy.
So you take stress, and Sand noticed the map being thrown strategically into a direction. Sand, you don't get stress. What are you confused about? You look confused.
No, I'm acting.
Oh,
I'm like,
right.
what just happened?
Okay, so real quick
Performing.
to recap what happens here. Smita, like, Sand runs in. Smita's immediately like making up the story, literally like live. And as Sand like listening to it, Smita like takes a step, like walks through. Why am I describing this? You go ahead.
As Sand is like he's looking and he's this, and I think he Smita belatedly notices the map that's way closer. That's like way closer to her than she should be. Like, okay, I have the map too close to me. It should be this. Okay, and as like, and she kind of very hastily like she takes her eye off Sand, not noticing that he would see this, and she kind of throws it in a direction, and then goes and then goes I don't know the map. It, is that it? I think that must be the map.
Wow.
Yeah, that looks like the map.
Can I show up at this point, because I realized one of my active beats is let your curiosity lead you into danger.
Yeah, you can
And
absolutely do that.
I feel like I started running and then I'm like, no, but I need to see what's eating them. And I turn around and run back.
Okay. Sand, what is the 1 second. Sand, what do you say here? What is the conversation here?
I don't know that I have anything to say. I think that like
But you noticed that
I
Smita like
noticed.
threw the map, but you don't
And
call it out.
I
You
don't
pretend like you didn't notice.
I don't think that I like say like, hey, did you murder this person as I'm standing next to the cliff? I just think that there's something going
Smart.
on with the story, and do I also notice that there's no snapped into the rope?
Oh yeah. There's absolutely
Okay.
no rope to be seen.
Yeah. So this whole thing feels very like, okay. That's really unfortunate. Like he, they seem like such a help and a
Also
sure
like a fun guy.
fun fun person who just like we were talking
Oh,
about
you were
plans.
pals.
We got along. Like I told them things that I haven't told my parents. Like.
Smita like very sincerely says, "I'm so sorry, Sand.
I think Ankita
You
shows up
deserve
at
a
this
good
point.
friend.
Yeah, I get that.
You deserved a good friend, and
And she's wielding her knife, and she's like, "Where's the monster?"
Right in front of you, baby.
And I take a step back from both of you at that point. I sort of like just like make a triangle. I'm not putting myself between me and the cliff or anything like that.
Where's the monster?
The I'm so sorry. I didn't realize the time. I'm so sorry. First and last is gone.
Where's the monster?
That we did. Does the chasm count as a monster? Because that's where he went, and I did try, and I tried to dissuade him, but he really wanted to see what was down there, and I should have been better. I should have been better at. I'm so sorry.
Okay, wait.
This is
There's no monster?
no, just a really deep dark hole.
She's visibly upset.
Uh,
I think
Smita
maybe
and Empath.
Angelique just says, like puts away like the bit of like I think it was like maybe a screwdriver that you got out for because she doesn't really have any weapons. She just puts it away and just says like, I think perhaps we should get going now.
So wait, he fell into the hole? And
I'll
you
explain everything as we go. Let's just we need to go. I'll explain everything to you, Ankita. Just we
Okay.
need to go now. We need to leave. Angelique is right.
Oh, actually, yeah, you should roll a compel. You're trying to make me do it.
Okay, sure.
You're trying to convince me to leave the scene of the crime.
You
7.
can Smitha can choose to not convince, so not to do the roll, but Smitha, I think.
I've already rolled. I already rolled.
Yeah, that's.
I got a 7.
By the way, earlier you did get 2 fortune stress, but you did not get a fallout. I rolled that.
Yeah.
So just mark that. Yes, 7 is a success with stress. So you are
taking on so much fucking stress. It's so funny.
You are compelled. You are compelled, Ankita, to leave.
I'm like, okay, all right.
Smita, can you take 4 more fortune stress and tell me how many you have overall right now?
I have 6.
6?
Yep.
That's fine. I rolled a 12, so you do not get a fallout yet, but you're really racking up that stress, so your chance of getting a fallout are higher and higher and higher. By the way, you did kinda achieve both of your beats. You got orders from your master, and you did something seemingly completely unrelated, which had grim consequences. Okay, to let people know what a beat is. So mechanically in the heart, every character during every session has to have 2 active beats. Beats are goals. Goals the player wants to do, not the character. Sometimes they can overlap, but it is the player's goals in game to do. We're not going to let you know what those goals are beforehand just because it might spoil the game, but once we've achieved them, we're going to let you know. Ankita did mention something earlier too about being led into danger from her curiosity, but I do not think you were led into a lot of danger. I'm glad you're characterizing yourself as curious and acting on it a lot, but this did not fulfill your beat. I'm sorry.
Okay.
However, Smita, both of the 2 beats that you had where let me go and find it again. Receive orders from your master, which you did, which was to kill the guide, and perform a seemingly unconnected action for your master that has grim consequences, which you also did. Could you tell me both of those were minors or what?
I think that was minor. The grim consequences was minor, and so was getting orders.
Okay. Well, if you know what achievements you want, just keep in mind that you now have those. The new abilities. We won't go over it now. Once it comes up, then it comes up. But keep in mind, you got those two now. Nobody else got a beat yet. Sorry, Ankita.
I am very proactive and chaos in this game. This is going to be very funny. I'm having so much fun.
Well, this is my fault for not remembering the curiosity thing first.
That's okay. You'll have many more opportunities to be led into danger because of your
Perfect.
curiosity. Are you heading back? What's
Honestly,
happening?
we're heading back, but
Yeah,
actually, can I make a
Smita.
discern roll to see how suspicious I am of the situation?
Can Smita do it? Only if Abhilasha wants to, but I
No,
don't
no,
think
no,
it's.
no. Can I
Oh,
do like a discern haven to see how suspicious I am of this whole situation?
yes. Well, sorry. What were you, Smita? What were you trying to compel? What were you trying to convince Ankita of specifically?
Is convince Ankita that we should leave and like let's keep going. We have the map. Let's just keep going on the journey. And she
Okay.
essentially is going to try and take the lead now.
Okay, cool. Ankita, I think considering every role has a stress risk, I'm gonna let you do this.
Okay.
Discern Haven.
All right. That is a 7.
That's a 7. That's a success with stress. I think the kind of stress that you're gonna get. First of all, yes, you don't know what's happening. This is only a 7, so you don't quite get. The vibe seems off. You look at Sand. Sand looks suspicious and confused. The map on the floor, weird. What? There's no rope. Smith is trying to get you away. You're not gonna just straight up suspect that she killed somebody, but something's off. There's something that you're not being told about. And the stress that you're going to take is 4 mind stress.
Wow.
And you don't take a fallout.
Okay. Oh, but this means
Oh,
I
this
roll
does
with
mean.
mastery every time I attempt to cast a spell.
I forgot about that. So I guess you really don't want to get fallout. Okay. All right. Heading back.
Can use all 4 dice.
So, Spitto. Who is now going to. Somebody needs to head the delve. You can take turns, but what is this conversation? What is happening right now between you guys? Because Angelique has a compass, which is not really that good, but it's something. So she is like ready to go. However,
What I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to Angelique and I'm going to say, hey, look, I have the map. And she's essentially going to be like, I have the delve skill, so I could reasonably lead us alone. However, she also has a separate mission that she needs to get a certain person involved in. So, what she's going to do is she's going to ask Angelique to use her compass to help along. She's going to ask Angelique as like to partner up in a way. Like, I have the map, but you could let us know if like for you could help us. I need someone like with me to help me out. I don't always like just being the only person who's like, oh, go here, go there, and I don't always like having that burden entirely. I'm not very good at leadership. Is a difficult topic for me with a lot of thorns, and I actually wouldn't mind a partner along, someone who could share the load as such.
Angelique takes initiative easily, and she's a confident sort of. If something needs to be done, she can't do it. But her compass has bits of it missing, And when she was leading Ankita and Sand earlier, she really did not seem like she knew what she was doing. So I'm just gonna let you know now. In no way will she be able to help you in your roles mechanically. However, she will
Fair
stand there
enough.
next to you since you're asking and keep you company.
Smita needs a certain person. She wants to talk to Angelique, and she needs Angelique around her specifically to be attached. She's attaching herself to Angelique so she can get her talking and do what she needs to do when it
We
comes to
could
her mission.
mechanically there's such a thing called as a bond. Bonds are NPCs that you make a connection with. Bonds can alleviate some stress, usually mind stress, maybe some blood stress, maybe supply stress. Um, Mechanically, this is explained as, for example, mind stress. It could be like a hug, or talking to somebody, etc. There's many different ways of doing it. If you make somebody a bond, you can only have so many bonds at one time. But if you like, you can not right now. Maybe next session if you keep like talking about like describing in what ways you're trying to bond with her. Um, she can become a bond mechanically. So keep that in mind.
I would like to use Greed of the Red King again because this is so suspicious. All of this is so suspicious. I need to discern an occult to cast my spell to see what is going on with Smitha. And I get to do it with mastery.
To remind people, mastery means you get one extra D10, so you're more likely to succeed.
All right, so that is a 10 again.
Wow.
Because I rolled 4 dice.
Whoa, yeah, I love when that happens. Yes. So 10 is as good as it gets. So what's up? What's up, Smith?
Okay. I will say, like, the specific wording of that is what she wants in that moment, right?
Right,
In that
what she
exact
wants
moment,
most of
yeah.
all right now.
She will get the same answer she got last time she did it. But this time, there is the calculated feeling is almost like you get that calculated feeling again, but this time you get it with a sense of deep loneliness. Deep
Oh.
loneliness and guilt.
Okay, but do I also get the sense that you need to be the leader?
Yes.
Listen, you've been a little chaos gremlin, so I'm gonna use my minor skill of a king demands. Once per session, you can demand that a target holding any item gives you that item and they must obey. And I'm gonna say, let me see the map.
Is that a roll?
No.
Well,
I do have endure. I have endure. Can
I'm
I use
sorry,
endure
but
in this?
Once per session, you can demand that a target holding any item gives you that item and they must obey.
you must obey. It's not like it's a forever giving the item, right? It's just sort of looking at the map for now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because in 5 minutes you can still be like, it's not like a forever mind control. In 5 minutes you can be like, give them back. Fuck.
Yeah.
But for now you have to hand over the map.
Smita, you can see Smita stiffen, and
I will.
you've never seen her, like, she's kind of been, her shoulders slumped, and she doesn't usually like stand her full height. But in that second, as she's handing it to you, she stands in her full height, looks you in the eye, and just kind of extends her arm out to give you the map. But she's looking at you with like the eyes, and you can, as she's standing her full height, one of the reasons she doesn't do that is because she doesn't want the burnt, like her scars around the necklace to be visible. You can see those scars.
Can I say that because you stabbed the ankle and the map was sort of that's where around like at his feet, It is a bit bloody.
Lovely. I'm gonna notice the blood. I'm gonna say, why don't I take the lead for now? And start walking.
Okay, well that's definitely way more than what your ability allows for. So Smitha can
Oh,
absolutely, argue back and fight back
oh
and like
yeah. She
Yeah,
can
I'm going to.
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
Sand, what's going on in your head? What is this? What's your perception of the situation?
I
Haha.
I think it's very likely that there was some foul play. And I don't trust Smitha. And I am all for Ankita taking the lead. So, but I also like the idea of Smitha leading so that so I can walk behind them. But otherwise, yeah. That's
Yeah.
I'm watching this. I'm keeping my distance. I'm not turning my back. I'm like,
Oh, there's a little something on this map. Is this spaghetti sauce?
Little smudge.
Little, it's not, I mean,
It's
why would he get spaghetti sauce on there and I poke it
um
and I lick it? I'm like, no, that's blood.
and I say, Smitha, did you kill him?
that's another role. I also need to tell this what happened for this role of this one. I got a 10.
What was the
A
roll?
10 for
What did
what?
you do?
I rolled like you okay, so you wait. Uh I wait, you have to roll for compel, right? Because you have to tell me.
What? Guys,
Yeah.
let's take a step back.
I'm confused right now.
What was the 10 on?
I thought that I thought you said that I have to roll for something.
1 second. So what, Ankita, are you trying to be like, give me the map, I'm gonna lead to try to convince? What is happening?
So I used a king demands to get the map from Smitha.
Yeah.
And then holding the map, I look at the map, study it for a minute, notice the blood,
Mm-hmm.
point out that that was interesting,
Sure
taste
is.
it, realize that it's blood,
Yeah.
and I think at this point, if Sand wants to say something.
Do you say it's blood? Like, or
Yeah, no, I taste
Yeah.
it. I'm like, oh, that's
Well,
coppery.
Sand, let's not forget, Sand said, did
Or
Sand
iron.
say, did you kill him?
Yeah, after they say that about the blood, I basically like, okay, this
Okay.
is coming out or it's not,
So there's no roll that happened yet, Smitha. So I
Okay,
can't.
okay.
I have to ignore the 10 regardless
Okay,
of
damn
if
it.
a roll
Fine.
happens.
Okay.
What did you even? I have to tell you what you're supposed to roll before you roll. I don't
I
even know
thought
what
you
you thought
had.
you were
I don't know.
rolling.
I thought I had to roll because I thought it was a compel thing. So, okay, never mind.
Yeah, but you have to know the domain before you roll too, and I
Yeah.
have to tell you that. So, Sand,
Okay.
you said, did you kill him? Take it from there. Or
yeah.
Smitha,
And
what do
it
you
is
say?
what is first pronouns again, please?
Who's?
Firsts.
Hey,
Sorry.
he, they,
Persons.
whatever.
Okay. Yeah, did you kill them?
No, the chasm did.
That's a lie. Compel, please.
I mean,
Now,
kind of in the
now-
gray area of it. In the gray area, technically, she's not lying. She did not kill him. She just stabbed the ankle. The chasm killed him. It like she phrased it very carefully. She did not kill him. She only made it so that the chasm could.
I'm suspicious. I look over, Ankita looks over at Sand and says, would you feel more comfortable if I led?
Yes.
Yeah. How about you, Angelique?
I would like to stay out of this, please.
Okay. Well,
I
Frankly, I
know.
don't really believe that only one of us. I mean, no, whatever. I'm just no, don't
Look,
involve me in this.
look, Ankita. I I'm a geologist. I literally go into strange areas. I did used to go into strange areas and investigate for a living. That's what my entire job was. I was a scientist of sorts. I I know, like, I can read maps. I've drawn maps. Like, she
How?
literally shows her sketchbook of like things that she's drawn and anything. Like, this is the stuff I used to do.
Okay, but Smitha, how do I know that you're not going to push one of us into a cat some next?
I don't do things of my own volition. I do things
That is
for
true.
different reasons.
That is
And
technically true.
you and Sand are both, you are meant to be on this trip with me, and you're meant to be alive. That's what I know best.
At this point, I'm not gonna rely on rolls. I think the three of you need to.
Work it out. Yeah.
Do you get
No.
convinced to let Smith go, or what?
No. Yeah, we're working on it.
So I share with the group what I witnessed, which is
It's all
yeah
coming out, huh?
yeah. Smith has said that the rope snapped. There was no rope, and then tossed the map aside, and then pretended to discover that the map was behind us, and saying, "Oh, look, there's the map."
Yeah, it's really clear.
And now there's blood on the map.
Yeah, it's really clear that she killed she killed first and last.
Well, no.
It's
Let's
not
not
clear.
forget. No, it's not. And let's not forget that, like, there was a compel roll earlier that was like, while it was successful, while there was some
It was
suspicion there.
the compel roll on me was just to get us moving. So we are walking while we're doing this. We have moved away from the scene, so I don't have
No,
the scene anymore.
I mean, like, really, like, actually no, because there was a 9 as well there. Yeah, so I think I'm trying to remember, but I think you're allowed to fully not believe Smitha. Abhilasha, do you remember? I think any compel rolls you did either didn't quite succeed or were like contested, and
They they were like more on the 6 and 7 range.
yeah.
They were on the 6 and 7 range. So I did take stress. They
No,
succeeded,
no, no.
but with
But
stress.
could you remind me like what kinds of compel rolls you did and which ones succeeded if you remember earlier?
I think the only contested one we had, maybe at least
Well,
with
yeah,
me,
the
Yeah,
was
contested one I
I
remember.
had a 9. Yeah, but
Yeah,
it
contested.
wasn't. Yeah,
But after
yeah.
that, I'm trying to
That was
remember that.
specifically for the map.
right.
That was
Yeah.
specifically to see me throw the map. But you did not question. You started questioning from when you saw the map being thrown, not the part where I told you that he had fallen.
Well, you did
That
say
he
that
had.
the rope snapped and there was no rope, so I don't know that I
Yeah,
would.
that part you noticed when I threw the map there.
Okay,
But I had not
got
said.
it.
But I had said that I tried to stop him. You believed that part,
Cool.
but
I
you don't
think if
see.
I
So like,
remember
there's
correctly, when Ankita came in and looked and there was no rope, there was this and that, you were suspicious.
Right.
When
The compel roll was specifically because you had asked specifically what the compel roll was. The compel roll was specifically to compel Ankita to move away from the scene of the crime.
yeah. I said that, like, let's get going. We need to get going.
and then there was one more roll after that to just for the general. You did a discern to see if you're suspicious
Yeah,
and you succeeded, didn't you, Ankita?
Yes.
yeah.
That I think. I can't quite be like, you know for a fact that Smitha killed him. But I think you're really like on the doorway.
It's only because I didn't know about the rope, but Sand just gave the information that Smitha said that a rope snapped, but there was no rope, and that Smitha threw the map, and the map now has blood, and I know that Smitha through my spell, I know that she desperately wants to lead the party.
You feel like it is not just a want, it's a literal compulsion that's coming
Right.
from something inside her. It's like a desperate compulsion.
So,
But
Ankita,
being new to the heart, would that really be your first assumption?
that what?
That she pushed him in and killed him?
I think just given all of the information and that there was no monster. If there was a monster, that would be different, but I was told that there was no monster. But I'm going to hand Smitha the map and let her lead the way with Angelique, and I'm gonna sidle up to Sand and be like, listen, we're both new here. Something weird is going on. I got your back if you got mine.
I can agree to that.
Okay. Sorry I made fun of you earlier for having a nice bed.
It doesn't sound like that's a sincere apology, but I'll take
No,
it.
I mean, it just, you're right. It wasn't the most sincere apology. It's important that we trust each other, so it
Yeah.
is pretty funny to think that you're
Well,
no longer sleeping in a nice bed. And
The apology is getting worse and worse, but
I
okay.
know.
Okay.
Listen, honesty between us. I think we're the only way that we're gonna stay alive.
It sounds like it.
Yeah. Smitha
Uh,
might kill us at any moment.
might.
Or the heart.
Yeah.
Okay.
At least that'll show my parents, won't it? You know, serves them right.
What?
It's a long thing. It's a long story.
Okay, you can tell me it later.
Yep.
Yeah. If I'm gonna die, it should at least be by the hand of the heart.
I kind of like
so what
tilt my
did
head at
you
that.
so what did you decide on, Smitha? What is happening with you?
So I gave Smitha the map.
Yeah. Got it. Well, Smitha, you did it. You you got to you're gonna lead the delve now, and your entire party really, really does not trust you. And I think those are pretty good grim consequences. I'd say so. As
Yeah.
you as you start to head out of the caves, the not the caves, sort of the tunnels. Um I think Sand, could I No, never mind. You start to walk out of the tunnels, and it seems like it's gonna be still a while. You look at the map, Ankita, and
No,
it
Smitha
does.
has the map.
Never mind. You look at the map, Smita, and it seems like some of the blood is sort of kind of smudgy, but you can sort of figure out there was like arrows to where first was trying to head to, which was what he mentioned, the place where he could get a better map, a more up-to-date map. Because don't forget, the heart never stops moving. And as you'll continue heading out, that's where we're probably going to end this session of Unlost, Unearthed. Heart the City Beneath actual play. Wow. Um I have everybody give their names once again, and if you would like to plug anything at all, please go ahead. Alex?
Sure. I've been Alex. I'm a writer and actor in North Carolina in the U.S. I publish and perform as Lex Wilson. You can find me on Wednesdays playing Old Gods of Appalachia with Lantern Light Adventures and a one-shot that's coming Friday playing Oops, All Draculas as part of the Pantsless Pride event, a fundraiser for,
That's
I believe,
fantastic.
Trans Lifeline. Oh, you haven't seen me play yet, so who knows if it actually is
No, but that's
fantastic.
very exciting. I'm excited for pantsless tables in general.
So fun.
I'm excited for me. Something horror to promote. I was an actor in the film Curse of Aurore, Aurore, a found footage film we shot in Quebec just before the pandemic began. It opened like #1 in the box office in some Quebec markets because nothing else was released at the time, and everyone was staying away,
I love
including
that.
including Marvel. They were just afraid of us. It's available on
they
a
should
bunch of
be.
platforms now, including Amazon Prime in the U.S., Canada, and a lot of libraries with that use Hoopla, if you have Hoopla.
We love libraries. Ankita, aka Zoop.
Hi, I'm Zoop Supriya or Zoop Machine. Zoop Machine is how you find me on the internet. I have a card now that tells you what I'm in. So if you're interested, check that out.
Well, mention one more if you want, a thing or two.
Oh, okay.
Use
I
the
am
time.
I'm about to start DMing a game of demigods on Wednesdays, Wednesday nights on Beggar Street, and I'm in Primeval Haunts, which is a Monster of the Week game, on the Starfield on Friday nights. And yeah, come back next week and see how this.
Thank you. Abhilasha?
Hi everyone. I have been your resident chaos gremlin. Uh, this was great. Um, you can find me on Twitter at Dr_Wyborn and on Blue Sky at Ombre Lesbian Night. You will be seeing me in a couple of other games along with Alex. I'm also going to be in Pantsless Tables. I'm going to be in Pantsless Tables Pride event. You are going to see me in the Face of the Enemy. We're using the system The Hidden Isle. You're going to see me next Saturday at 2 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Can't wait. I'm really looking forward to this. You are also going to be seeing me technically day after tomorrow, but like what would be late night Sunday for me, but early Monday. You're going to be seeing me with a session 0 of Moonlight on Roswell Beach with the Queer XP server. That is actually going to be that's my second Moonlight on Roswell Beach game. You're also going to find me again playing Moonlight on Roswell Beach with, and why have I forgotten the people who I'm with Sword and Keys on Tuesday, I think. I think late Tuesday or early Wednesday, one of those things. So I have a lot of stuff going on. I also actually I contributed to a TTRPG book with let me just yeah, with Daylight Forge. I had contributed to a book that is going to be released soon. It's a sci-fi thing. I did some world building and stuff for them, so please do go look out for the Forge, Daylight Forge. I've done some cool class. Good, there's a fun class in there where I did which is essentially sci-fi pilots, but bonkers. And I also did a world thing where everyone is very, very musical, where everyone literally lives in a musical in that world. So, fun. So please do go check out the book if you can. It'll be on drive through. So yeah. And other rest of the other time I'm on Twitter doing reviews of the lesbian things, of books that I really like, and just generally vibing. So come and check me out. This was great.
And finally, I'm Sharik. I've been your game master. This is mostly what I do nowadays. This is actual play currently. What I'm doing is on Girls Run These Worlds, but periodically I do those. Nothing to plug at the moment. I'm an editor and kind of writer and other things. So I've got a card as well. Just check me out, hire me, do whatever the hell you want. Otherwise, I'm just gonna let y'all know that on Wednesday the 26th, we have a fun one shot coming up called Divine Pride Parade. It's for Pride Month and it's going to be at 7 p.m. Eastern, Wednesday the 26th of June. After that, coming up, we have Murder They Wrote, also for Pride Month at 3 p.m. Eastern, Friday the 28th of June. Both of those will be great and fun, so please check those out. And also, finally, we are rating Deity Jordan Lee, so stick around for that. And that is all from us. Come back next week for more horror.